Hello, vlog for the 6th of October 2021, and this is Tuesday? Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Didn't do a video the last couple days. I should stay more focused. I've been, my projects have been getting out of control. Oops, let's turn this on. I was working on Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars, and then I got to the part where I needed to start researching what wars would legions look like when they're parked in their camps and also when they're on the field, which kind of made me more interested. And I was just reading and watching videos and stuff and screen capturing images and thinking. And last night, actually, we watched Barbarians on Netflix, this German TV show, and they had some good shots of their legion that they had. I was critiquing that. That was interesting. In their version, they just had a bunch of stakes sticked up 6 feet. It was so it wasn't like that. It was more secure than that, but maybe they didn't have the money or something. Anyway. So then that's when I was like, fuck it, let's just do Livy. Because I was looking at, I just thought it would be easier and more time effective to start from the beginning with the army and move it up from there. Because I was looking at this map I saw on a website, and I built the legion of the double legion camp over Varanius, I think his name is, on the Caesar War in Sens, France. But then I was researching, and the different groups that the person wrote in apparently had been extinct. So they were mishmashing two different eras, like the Hastati and the Principes and the Triari groups were before Marian reforms, but the legion I was making was after. So hopefully I'll just research that again, but hopefully I won't have to redo too much. But yeah, I was working 2 days on that legion, just trying to build every single way to illustrate it, from colored blocks to pins with showing the numbers to everything. And so I've been leaving things. I've been leaving breadcrumbs all over, working a little bit on this. I did a week or something on the Battle of Alesia. It was crazy. So yeah, but now I just wanted to get just squared away on the legionary camps and battles. That's what I've been wanting to do for a long time. I found another good site that explained a bunch of stuff, and so I was just ready to do that. So I started last night, kind of late. I started on Livy. I wrote Livy. I'm going to Google Earth Livy. So Livy has 46 books, at least on the version I have on my website. And each book averages about 60 chapters, and the book is 3,300 pages, so it's 10 times bigger than Gallic Wars, which is 389 pages. Livy's 3,300. And and there's 1,800 chapters, so it's average 2 pages a chapter. Yeah, and I just figured I'd start from the beginning and Google Earth it. It'll definitely help me memorize the book. Damn, if I Google Earth Livy, I'll memorize it, but it could take 6 months or something. So I have to ask myself, is it really worth it? Worth 6 months of my life to do it? And I probably, but so yeah, I wrote in the first book. The first chapter of the first book was when Aeneas escapes, and so I drew all of the whole route of Aeneas with all the places he went to, 11 different places. And then I researched the Aeneid a little bit. I think maybe I read it once, but I don't know the details. But I guess they had 20 boats, and then they got into a shipwreck. They all got shipwrecked in the ocean storm. And then he only had 7 by the time he got to Carthage. So I'm just assuming he had 7 when he got to Italy. Somebody, and then on some website, somebody said he had a boat this long by this long, and then I looked up how big a trireme was, which is the same size, like 120 feet long, 40 meters long. And there's like 200 people at trireme, so I just figured if he had 7 people, 7 boats, 200 people each, he arrived at 1,400 people. You know, that's not like the original picture I had in my mind, which just like one boatload with like 30 guys. But as the story goes, when he landed on the shore, the army of the tribe that was there, the Aborigines, ran out to wage war, but then they ended up deciding to make peace. So if an entire like army of a tribe went out and decided they didn't want to mess with somebody, then it must have been a pretty big force. So that makes sense. 7 boats. And in Livy, he said his ships, plural. So I'm just assuming. So that's where I am at now. Like I wrote 7 boats. I even plopped in, 7 groups of 700, 200 people. And then even another group facing them, but then I started doing this thing last night, and then I've been doing it all day today, and it'll probably take me another few hours, where I plug up the modern day Rome with nature. I knew that I wanted to do that. I remember thinking about, oh my God, am I going to really do that? And then I decided to actually do it with Boulder County. No, and actually, no, not Boulder County. The entire, from the northern tip and I think I decided to do it that way because that's like the Roman Republic, like the entire area. So I figured I'd do all of it, and it took me forever because I did it meticulously. I used like 20 different screen captured. I would go and screen capture like a color of Earth, and then I would put an image on top of it to make it look, even when you got close, that it's just nature. Because you get distracted when you see buildings and stuff. So I knew I wanted to do that with Rome, but I found this really big area of like untouched. Actually, much bigger than even here. It was 274 square kilometers of like untouched forest, thick forest right on the hill there. So that was cool. Good on them. But so I have these blocks. So I'm just stacking blocks up next to each other and rotating them so it doesn't look like a pattern. But and so I'm just trying to fill the entire Roman kingdom, or all of Latinium, which was like 30 like tribes. It's like the same size as Boulder County with these blocks, only they're a lot bigger there than here. So it's less meticulous that way over in Rome than here, but it'll look good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like because I already have all of the tribes and the cities and the rivers, not just the rivers from the line tool, but from the polygon tool, showing the exact width of the river. And even racetracks and soccer fields of the whole area. So when I put it on there, it'll look really, I think it'll look really realistic. And I want it to make you feel like you're in the past. I'm envisioning Rome when it was first built, founded, like 753 BC, almost 3,000 years ago. As just forest, because it's a drainage basin from the mountains, and there's all these different like rivers that just come out, and I've never even seen anything like it, where it's just so many rivers right next to each other. So it was extremely watered, which means there must have been really thick forests, and that's probably why nobody had really developed it so much around Rome, because it was just wild, like swamps and forests, and like you really had, but it was like if you had a forest of people to go in there were plenty of trees to chop down and build houses with, so, and lots of hills. So that's the effect I want to go for, like, and then I also want to be able to illustrate the evolution of it. So you can start it out with it looking like forest, and then with all the little like city states around, and then I'll make it look like these little, like, Amazonian rainforest villages, like with a little clearaway in the middle of their village in their circle, and then outside it's just forest. And as time goes on, I'll start pasting on more farming land, so that it grows steadily. And there's even this book called Land Laws of the Roman Republic on Kindle that I have that actually details exactly how big all of the farms were and how many there were in Rome. So I could actually totally rebuild that. I was thinking before, should I do that? And I'm like, now I'm thinking, if I build this all, yeah, I should throw that in there. So maybe it'll take a year. But my computer's going really slowly. I have two computers and they're both so slow. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the problem is, but yeah, but at least it's working. So I hit like, Control C, Control V, and it's like I have to wait like 3 or 4 seconds for it to appear, and then whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna plug in all those, and in order to make it so that you don't get distracted by the jaggedy, because I have these like squares. I'll just have it go over the edge of Latinium, and then I'll have it covered up just with the other tribes. You can do that by making it 1 meter up or a couple meters up, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like with all the forests on there, and then the cities, and then the tracks. That even though the tracks, they didn't have raised tracks and fields, I wanted to have those in there and kind of imagine that those were like villages. Those are all just the tiny villages, and each village traditionally, I'm poetic license here. Each village traditionally would cut in a racetrack and a soccer field, just so you can keep it. It helps you because it's all covered up, so it helps you give a vantage point of how big everything is. Helps you visualize it. So yeah, so then I'll just proceed with doing the book. Every single thing that happens in the book, I recreated on Google Earth. Like Aeneas had a battle, I have to figure out how many people were in the battle. I have to write up the formations, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna go on I did like a week or more a couple weeks on Gaelic wars. I got a good start on it. So now I'm gonna do Livy for at least a week. Today's like Wednesday. Until, this Sunday, maybe even next Sunday, and then I'll just kind of take a breather, or I'll step back and be like, okay, so did I make any progress? I want to do a war, I haven't done a battle yet, like in its completion. Unless you're talking about the one that almost happened. It's just the formation of the guys opposing each other. Maybe that'll be my first, or Aeneas first came. So anyway, it's starting to cool down. This Saturday I have my job again, hauling hay bales, so that'll be fun. I need the exercise. So anyways, that's what's going on with me tomorrow. Hopefully when I do the video, I'll be like, yeah, I finished plugging up the Kingdom of Rome. Looks really good. I checked it out. And now I'm on like book 1, chapter 5, bro. Like hopefully that'll be book 1, chapter 5. Let's see if I can get that far tomorrow out of a total of like 1,800 chapters. Alrighty, talk to you tomorrow.